Hi guys, never a man to miss an opportunity. Nigel Farage was speaking here about the protest taking place outside an ex-hotel housing asylum seekers in Epping. Now he spoke also about rising tensions, civil unrest, and how the government in London are completely disconnected from the situation, don't understand what's going on, and only he or Reform do. Now he also had his ire directed not so much at right-wing thugs who attacked police, but to anti-fascists. Have a listen to this.
On Epping, I don't think anybody in London even understands just how close we are to civil disobedience on a vast scale in this country, and I regret saying that. Of course, there were some bad eggs that turned up at Epping. There were the usual far-right thugs. But equally, what about Antifa? Why are Antifa allowed to go to these demonstrations, to wear balaclavas, to not be identified, to do gestures last night of them shooting at members of the public? Why are Antifa allowed to turn up outside a meeting I do in Cornwall 3 months ago, to assault members of the public coming to a democratic meeting? So, you know, it isn't all far-right thuggery, as you might sometimes hear from our Prime Minister. But do I understand how people in Epping feel? You bet your life I do. You bet your life I do. You know, I'm sitting on my table with two mothers. You know, I mean, 14-year-old girl is sexually assaulted by an Eritrean who'd arrived by boat 8 days before. Don't underestimate the simmering anger and disgust that there is in this country that we are letting in every week. In fact, some days, many hundreds of undocumented young males, many of whom come from cultures in which women and young girls are not even treated as second-class citizens. So the answer is yes, I do understand the genuine upset and anger. And I'll bet you that most of the people outside that hotel in Epping weren't far right or far left or anything like that. They were just genuinely concerned families. Thank you.
Okay, what is he doing? Obviously, he's attempting to take advantage of the situation. Does he care about the victims? Does he care about the people involved? Of course he doesn't. This is the guy who sold people the idea that if you vote to leave the European Union, immigration would come down. As a direct result of Brexit, people are crossing the channel in small boats. They're not being returned in many cases because of Brexit. Now, has he apologized for that? Of course not. Notice here how he mentioned right-wing thugs. No mention of them attacking the police. No mention of them intimidating the police having to leave the area because of these individuals. No mention of that. But his ire was directed at anti-fascists and saying, why are these people allowed to turn up? No, members of the public can turn up and protest. But if people are engaging in violence, they should be arrested. He wants them arrested, it seems, even though they haven't committed any crimes. But the fascists who actually attack the police, he has nothing to say about that. He's trying to create an image of, I'm the person who understands what's going on. Westminster, London, the Prime Minister, they have no understanding of the concerns of ordinary people. He's trying to take advantage of the situation like he did before. But he's careful not to be seen to be inciting it. People are concerned. Immigration is a massive problem. And then he identifies individual cases. He had nothing to say about the asylum seekers who are not involved in any crimes, being intimidated, being attacked by far-right thugs outside the hotel. There was a man who's not even an asylum seeker who was intimidated in the community. There is rising tension, and instead of trying to reduce the tension, he's trying to take advantage of that situation. An absolute charlatan, and he's never going to change. He doesn't care about ordinary people. He cares about using them to serve his own purposes. Things are going to get worse. But Farage is not on the side of trying to reduce tensions. He's trying to take advantage of rising tensions. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.